Gather round all and hear the tale of an eternal wanderer. The story of a man who has lived through generation after generation, never growing old, but never at peace. All this man does now is walk from place to place, but never where he truly needs to be. Who is this man, you ask?
Ha! That man would be me.
The reason this man can only walk but never age is a fantastical tale, full of magic and mystery. Listen close, and you shall know how the eternal wanderer became forever deathless.
I wasn't always like this. I had a life once. A real life.
Tell them where you were from.
I hail from the motherland of Russia. It wasn't always like it is now. It was a land ruled by the elements, and not by men.
And where the elements rule, the magical play. Russia, at the time, had itself a bit of a devil problem.
I always hated devils. Evil little buggers, causing nothing but mischief and pain for humanity. They would do all sorts of terrible things, from ruining farmers' crops to whispering rumors in the ears of kings so that they may start whole wars between nations. Just for nothing.
Not for nothing. To alleviate boredom.
And you couldn't have found a less harmful way to do that?
Well, that wouldn't make us devils now, would it?
But did you really have to cause wars?
Oh, if we didn't, we might have never met.
See, our eternal wanderer here was once a soldier.
A brave and good one at that. Whenever conflict arose, I was there on the front lines. After one such conflict, orchestrated by these nasty things,
Thanks, pal.
I left the battle with some unexpected spoils of war. A whole box of foreign biscuits left untouched, and they were quite delicious. I planned on sharing some with my family and friends when I returned home from duty.
But along his journey home, he encountered a beggar. One who had lost their home to the war that had occurred.
It was the first time in my life that I realized what I do. The wars I fight. They had an impact far beyond what I had ever imagined.
Feeling this remorse, he supplied the box of biscuits to the beggar.
I was thanked profusely. That had never really happened to me before. It was from that day on, I decided I would not be a soldier for the cause of kingdoms, but a soldier for the cause of men.
As a gift for our hero's generosity, the beggar gave the soldier 2 items. A pack of playing cards and a musty sack.
I was told that whatever game I would play, the cards would let me win. And that the sack was magical as well. It could contain anything within it. Some days I wish I never learned that.
Same here.
Following this, the soldier continued his journey home when he heard laughter come from inside of an abandoned castle.
And that's where I come in. Me and the boys had just taken advantage of the fact that many rich fools had abandoned their pretty homes for fear of war.
War that you all caused.
You won't find me complaining.
You sure were when I trapped you in that sack.
Don't remind me.
I will. The soldier investigated the castle where he discovered it infested with devils.
They were destroying priceless art, drinking and eating rare foods and wines, and discussing the wars they started.
Well, we didn't expect anyone to hear us.
But I did, and I told you that I would put a stop to your evils once and for all.
If it was a fair fight, we would have torn you to pieces.
Should have thought of that when I proposed we should do battle in the form of a card game.
Can't believe I agreed to that.
They do say hindsight's 20/20.
Needless to say, the soldier won against the devils in every game they could think of with his unbeatable deck. Gin rummy, blackjack, old maid, they didn't stand a chance.
After the 6th loss, I accused him of cheating.
I mean, they were right, technically.
So, me and the boys tried to jump him.
You forgot about the sack, didn't you?
I didn't even know about the sack in the first place.
As they charged me, I threw my sack over all the devils. Like the beggar said, it contained them all.
It was nothing but darkness. It was horrible.
Eventually, we reached a deal, me and Vlad here.
I serve his every need, and he lets me free of that terrible sack. Sounded like a deal to me.
The tale of the devil-conquering soldier reached far and wide.
Eventually, the Tsar of Russia heard my tale. It turned out the castle I liberated was one that belonged to his family.
The Tsar called for a meeting with the soldier due to a plague sweeping the country. It had even recently infected the Tsar's son.
He asked me how I dealt with the devils. I showed him the magic sack. He asked if I could contain the plague inside it.
And what did you tell the Tsar?
I said I couldn't capture death itself.
But then I asked you, have you even tried?
I didn't know at the time.
Well, what did you do, oh noble hero?
It was more what you told me to do.
It was a good idea.
You were trying to get me killed.
Occupational hazard. Besides, I had your back, didn't I?
The brave soldier, at his companion's suggestion, got himself sick.
This disease was the greatest enemy I had faced yet. I had the strongest fever imaginable. I couldn't feel my own legs, and eventually I began to lose my very sense of who I was.
He could practically feel death's cold embrace.
In fact, I eventually could see her, standing right in front of me.
Yes, you could. Our conversation went as follows. Hello, brave soldier.
You've taken quite a number of people recently, haven't you?
It is my job.
But this many?
Are you not concerned for yourself?
I am a soldier for the cause of man.
What I do is also for the cause of man. This is how it's always been.
What if it wasn't that way?
I guess you'll never know, brave soldier.
I actually think I will. Now!
I was hiding in the shadows the whole time. Sack at the ready. At the soldier's signal, I threw the sack over death itself. And with that, we officially captured Death.
I could feel my fever dissipate. Feeling returned to my legs, and my mind was restored.
Not bad for a devil, huh?
Not at all. As the days went by, the effects of what we had done began to take shape. The sick got better, and even the Tsar's son, who was as close to death as I had been, was on the mend.
You were quite the hero. From there on out, he became known as the man who conquered death. You can guess how much credit I got.
Even if I told them that it was a devil's plan, they never believed me.
Let's just say what happened next was karma.
For what?
Oh, I don't know. How about cheating in cards? Trapping me in the sack? Not giving me credit?
Except everyone suffered. Not just me.
Everyone suffered? Nobody was dying.
Exactly.
You have to admit, it was pretty neat at first. It was like time itself had stopped.
Until I realized that time kept going. But for some, it never ended. I met an old lady who lived far beyond what she was supposed to. She could barely speak, let alone stand up. She asked, with quivering breath, if I was the man who had allegedly captured Death.
You said yes, right?
I did. She then asked me, I won't forget this. Ever. She asked if I could let her rest now. She said she was so tired and just wanted to rest. It was then I realized the mistake I had made.
You returned to your house, where that legendary sack laid. I really wasn't sure what you were doing was the best idea. Death still had a score to settle with you.
But I had pledged myself to be a soldier for the cause of men. And that meant not only saving the people, but knowing when to let them go. Even if I was to go along with them.
You reached in and pulled death itself out of that sack. I've never been so afraid in my life.
Our next conversation was as follows. So, you see the mess you've made.
I didn't know this would happen.
You trapped death. What did you think was going to happen?
Not this! Please. There are people out there who are in great pain, with nothing to ease it.
And that's where I come in. That's where I've always come in. Why did you think you could disrupt that?
All the pain, the suffering, the death. I couldn't watch it happen anymore. I wanted to be a hero.
As do many, but that is not something you seek out.
Please, just tell me it will be fine. That everything will go back to normal now.
It will. Those who need their final rest may finally get it. But for you, nothing will be normal again.
What does that mean?
You'll see.
Where are you going? Hey! Hey! Come back!
I then left to do my work.
And that was that. For a while. Until one day, while traveling, you found yourself bitten by a snake.
I could feel the venom coursing through me. But when death appeared, she said,
Oh, you again.
"So this is it."
No, brave soldier. Not even close.
What?
You began to stand once more. You had not died, and you never did. You never grew old. And every year, as you and your devil companion continued to walk the earth, we would meet for one day, and you'd ask me the same question.
Is it time?
And every year, I'd give you the same answer. No.
And that is how my story goes.
That is how it goes.
But how about now? I've walked through the fall and rise of empires. Wars between countries, wars inside countries. I've walked through the creation of the printing press, the plane, the car, the television, the internet. I've seen it all. And yet I still wander. Still I see more. It once seemed so glorious to live forever. But now it feels too much. To know what has happened, what will continue to happen. I just want to rest. Please, let me rest. When will it end?
Not now. Not for a while. Do not worry. You have your companion. You are not alone.
But immortality is normal for us devils. For someone like him, not so much.
There is nobody like him. He is the eternal wanderer.
How much longer must I wander?
Until it all ends. When it does, I will be there for you, like an old friend.
So, what do I do until then?
Continue to live. Tell your story. That's all you can do. I look forward to doing this again next year. Farewell, brave soldier.
So, what now?
We do as death says. Keep wandering. Keep living. And hope that one day I can find peace. Whether it be on this world or the one beyond it.